question is, how do we deepen our acceptance of the other partner, even in a long-standing relationship that has gone well?
Yeah, acceptance. It's a constant process of accepting and appreciating another person. And can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So and I found that usually when we have problems with accepting another person's behavior, I mean, there's some behaviors that we shouldn't accept, obviously, and that's where healthy boundaries need to be. But a lot of what we don't accept is just we have our conditioning, and somebody, does things a little different than us. And, it's the little things that disturb us in a marriage. It's like, can really build up. But self-acceptance is really the first and most important piece of it, because until we can accept ourselves, then we can't accept other people. We're going to be projecting our own things we don't like about ourselves onto others. And there's really no question of really being able to have true acceptance that it goes heart deep. I mean, we can do it superficially. So I think that kind of work, that self-acceptance, it's hard. Devotees, a lot of times they feel like it's indulgence, or it's, to do work around self-esteem and self-acceptance. And it's not at all, because we can make so much more spiritual progress when we're able to accept where we're at, and to be able to look at our own imperfections and see that this is how I've been, I'm a mess, and Krishna, I need your help, and, please give me the help to become a better person. And Krishna really responds to that. And if we do it with humility, approach the Lord with humility, then yeah, magic can happen in our lives. And so it really all starts with we have to do that work first. Chintamani, you want to add something?
Yes, that's so beautiful. I really love that you said I'm a mess. That's a nice affirmation, because we actually, if we go before Krishna, that humble state of mind, Krishna, I'm a mess. You're the only one who can help me. And many years ago, His Holiness,
Which one?
sorry, His Holiness Hri Dayananda Maharaj came to Gitanagari. And so he did this exercise. He asked everyone to sit in the room, to just close their eyes. And he said, think of a time in your Krishna consciousness when you were the most fired up, when you were the most enthused, when you were most happy, when you were serving in all glory. So we all sat in the room and we closed our eyes and we thought of that time where we just felt so inspired in our Krishna consciousness, and he had to sit there for a minute. And then he said, that's who you are. That's who you are. And that was really transforming for me at the time, because I typically, even now, define myself based on what I'm not doing, what I should be doing. My daughter and I call this term like living in the gap between where you think you should be versus where you're at. And so when Mars did that exercise, it was such a nice reminder that who we really are as spirit soul is that eternal aspect of ourselves where we just really want to serve Krishna, and we're really trying to serve Krishna, and we're really crying out to serve Krishna. So as Mother Archana Siddhi was saying, like that sense of self-esteem is praying to be really tuned into our identity as spirit soul and as servant of the servant of the servant. And if we can be in deep prayer, that we can increasingly have that sense of identity, and we can be in that prayer for our mate, that Krishna can assist our mate in deepening their love for God, and that our union will deepen that, then in a way, you know, this whole life and this whole marriage is actually practice for the spiritual world as we know. So I don't know if this is exactly answering the question, but as it comes to me is we can deepen our appreciation for our mate by deepening our sada and our spiritual practice, which begins to purify our vision of ourselves and others, and to be in a deep crying out for Krishna's mercy and for Krishna's will to predominate and to surrender ourselves to Krishna's will. And in that way, our true sense of self-esteem will grow, and we can support our mate and our children, and we can be how Srila Prabhupada would like us to be. That's my prayer.
Wonderful, wonderful. Actually, Gopika, anything you want to add to that?
Well, first of all, I think we're still very much learning how to do that for one another. But I can just share that I think having real expectations, in the sense that when you get married to someone, sometimes we say like happily together forever, but forever is a long time, and that means change. Like you're not going to be married to the same person forever, like the way that they were when you first married. They're going to evolve and change. And I mean, for me too, I will also evolve and change. So having the real expectation that your spouse is going to change over time with experiences in life, I think is really important. So when you find yourself, I mean, I'll speak for myself, but when I find myself struggling with that acceptance, it helps to know that this is going to be a struggle that comes up forever, that we have to constantly revisit this conversation and try to understand one another and reconnect with one another. And I will just say that it's not always easy to cultivate the understanding, especially when we might be going through different things in life or changing how we feel about things. And so just to accept the help whenever you need from the devotees and the community to help cultivate that understanding, because I think accepting one another is not like a one-time thing. I accept you at marriage. I feel like it's constantly revisited. That's all I wanted to add. Do you have anything?
No, I mean, I was just going to say that maybe, I think maybe everyone has a different kind of challenge with this, depending on our preferred flavor of our false ego. So for me, I think, yeah, I mean, the issue with acceptance or accepting someone else is more coming from a place of, I think I'm better than them, and I think I know what's better, and they should be like this or they should be like that. And so I think trying to work through that, understand where it's coming from, and understand, it's been, you know, an interesting journey, but just reflecting on where, at the end of the day, if I think about what the purpose of this is, it's an opportunity for us to grow together. And that opportunity comes from not trying to change the other person, but rather to learn how to appreciate and grow and be grateful for the other person. And it's a constant practice, but I think that's what I've been trying to keep in mind. So, thank you.
I think it's nice to end with the junior couple, because you represent the future, and we need a future of ISKCON couples such as yourselves. Strong families, strong communities, strong ISKCON, as the GBT says.